Check, check.
Check.
Good.
I love how we went from like we should be in a professional studio to we should be cozy.
We
like,
should
on
be
the
cozy
couch,
sometimes.
Not wearing makeup, like just.
I'm never wearing makeup. I'm chill.
I like started off this podcast.
Hold on.
Adventure.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Dollspace. You caught us in mid-convo. We were chatting about...
Yeah, I forgot that we had to intro.
Yeah, just a quick intro for you guys.
I'm Degrassi Sandy Clark.
TikTok Sam Doll.
You know the
yada,
drill.
yada, yada. Okay, anyways, what were you saying?
What I was saying is that it's so funny that we like started with this podcast venture being like we have to have this professional setup, like we were gonna be in an actual studio, like going there to work, commute.
Yeah.
And then we really just said, let's be cozy on the couch in blankets, no makeup,
Yes.
the biggest shirt possible.
Yeah, so that we can have roles if we want.
So we can have rolls.
Like our body can roll.
And what's our excuse with our faces?
Nothing. Your face looks amazing.
No, and I think we established that it's nice when you like underplay, because then when you do yourself up, you're
yes.
like, ooh,
oh, I just got a comment on my TikTok a few days ago. That was some girl going, I saw you at Sephora the other day. You're so beautiful. And I was like, that must have been a pleasant surprise for you, because I look like a fucking Grinch online all the time.
I only dress up to go to Sephora.
I only dress up to run my errands at the Eden Center.
I was just going to say.
I'm always running errands at the Eden Center,
the
everybody.
Eden
If you
Center.
want to meet me, just go to the Eden Center.
No, actually. I bet you do get recognized at the Eden Center. Eden Center is like number one place to get recognized.
I feel like people at the Eden Center are so fucking cool. They're just never even like... No one bothers me.
Always get recognized at a mall. Like, hands down, it's going to happen.
That's true.
It happened twice in LA, and I was like, Here in Los
For Degrassi
Angeles?
or for the podcast?
For Degrassi,
Come
sadly,
on.
still.
Come on. We've got a big audience in LA.
I should have said, actually, that was a missed opportunity. I should have said, yeah, and I have a podcast now.
Yeah, seriously, convert those Degrassi freaks.
I should have.
Speaking of Degrassi freaks, Annie remembered why she went zorbing.
Yes, mystery solved. Okay, well, I didn't even say the word zorbing on the podcast last. Oh, but remember we talked about me doing that activity where I rolled down...
Where she rolled down a hill in a ball within a ball
Which
that was
Sam
filled with
thought
water.
she was like just pulling out of her ass as the most random activity possible. And
Yeah.
she did not expect that I was going to say I've done that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Two different types at the same time. But I could not remember
why you did
all why, where, with who, whatever. Everyone, so I posted it to my Instagram story. Everyone that commented that I thought maybe I could have done that with was like, sadly, it wasn't me. And I was like, really? I thought maybe it was you. A lot of my friends said, I feel like this was a Degrassi thing. And I was like, me too, but it's not like we were always doing, like we would go on trips and stuff, but I was like, in what context would we be rolling down a hill in balls? Like we were working. Like
Right.
It was fun, but like there was no time for that.
There was no time for play.
So I was trying to think about what it was. And then it came to me because I was Googling, because I know I was in Ontario. I Googled because someone commented saying it's called zorbing, which is hilarious. And I Googled zorbing Ontario. And one of the things that came up was Horseshoe Resort or
Horseshoe
like Horseshoe
Valley.
Valley Resort. Yeah. And I remembered, like a light bulb went off, that I once went to Horseshoe Valley Resort. Me and I believe it was Melinda Shankar, who played Ali Bandari on Degrassi, and one of our PR people, because these two normal people won a contest to go do that with us. So we stayed overnight.
What?
Not like slumber party. Like we had our own rooms.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We all had our own rooms at Horseshoe. And we had to go, and it was like a day of activities and a dinner. Or I think we had 2 meals with them. I honestly think we like arrived, had a lunch to get acquainted, did a bunch of activities. Like I think we did like a rock climbing one. We did zorbing.
I'm sorry.
Don't know what else. And then we had to have dinner
With them.
with them.
Okay, and they were really normal.
Really normal people. And
The kind of people that, how did they get into this contest?
The kind of people that we learned, because we were like, oh, okay, like, you love Degrassi, obviously. And they were sort of like, no, like, yeah, I kind of know of it. Like, oh, yeah, like Manny, like one of the characters. And we're like, yeah, no, that's like not our generation.
Wait,
Manny's cool, though. And we were like, so wait, so it came out. We were like, why are we here then? If you don't like Degrassi, like simply, why are we all doing this? And it turned out these are the kind of people. It was a mom and a daughter that just apply for contests.
Okay, yes.
You know these people?
Yes, I'm familiar.
They
like the kind of people that
apply to whatever contests are out there.
Okay, what's bizarre
They weren't
about
even that excited to win. Like, it was more like, we apply to contests, so sometimes you gotta actually do the thing. Like, I actually think the thrill of it is applying and maybe finding out that you win because you're just like getting
those are
free
the
shit.
two.
But they didn't even seem like they like wanted to fucking be there. They barely cared about Degrassi. They were so awkward, and I was just like, okay, so why are we doing this?
Yeah, why are all four of us here?
Because we don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Obviously. I wasn't getting paid for this shit. Like, we had to just do stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, in our contract, we're doing these random appearances.
Yeah.
And I mean, great, I went zorbing.
Yeah. Well,
That's a feather in my cap.
That is a feather in your cap, to be fair. And also that story is so funny that two fucking weirdos just decided, let's apply for that contest and many others probably.
Oh, tons.
And then we're so pissed off when they won, but they're like,
they said they got to do a safari once, and I was like, well, that's sick.
Okay, so maybe we should start applying to contests.
I guess it's worth it. Yeah, it actually, I thought.
Do you remember when I
maybe
did that
apply,
because that band that you and Bass went to see? What was that fucking band called?
St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. I called into the radio. Do you remember this? Yeah. That I called into the radio. It was so weird. Sometimes my brain just shuts the fuck off. And this was one of those times where they said, name that 90s quote and you win two tickets to St. Lucia. And like, I don't know who St. Lucia is, but I knew that Annie went to them with her ex-boyfriend 5 years ago. So I called the radio station 100 times because the quote was from Wayne's World, which I can
and that was more
backwards.
Like you probably wanted to be right. Like you probably wanted to win that more than the tickets,
I was just like, I know
right?
immediately.
Yeah.
But then I was like, if I get tickets, cool. And anyway, the phone rang and rang and rang. And then the guy picked up and he was like, hello. And I'm like, I know the answer. And he's like, well, someone already won. And I was like, okay. And he's like, but you can tell me what it is. And I was like, it's Wayne's World. And he's like, you know what?
Job.
Thanks for calling in and keeping radio alive. And I was like, no problem, buddy. And then I just, what the hell was that? I was on hold. It was a busy line and I just kept redialing for like 10 straight minutes.
You're like, am I keeping radio alive?
I was dead behind the eyes. I don't even know what the hell. I don't even know how I was driving. I passed out and did that. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, I think sometimes
Annie.
people just don't want to. What?
Sorry, I have two things to tell you that I did that are so weird.
Okay.
Guys, I did something. Okay. Sometimes I'll get an obsessive thought about the karmas of the universe. And I'll be like,
okay.
I'll be like, this has to equal this, whatever. So the other day it rained, right? I'm walking LV and I see a worm on the ground.
Great.
So far away from the soil. So I walk past it and then I think, you should lift up that worm and throw it in the soil. And then other me was like, you don't lift up worms like that. And I said, well, today you do. So I stopped and I lifted up the worm and I threw it in the soil so it could go back home to its motherland.
Beautiful.
However, unfortunately, the next day I was walking LV and I stepped on and crushed a snail.
Oh, I was just going to say something about a snail.
Arguably a bigger creature. So to them, I'm the Lord, and the Lord giveth, and the Lord had taken away.
Oh my God.
I know.
So is that what you think is happening to us?
God, I don't want to speculate, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone as dumb as me was running the show.
Stepping on, bringing you here.
Yep,
and
dropping you there.
Okay, I was going to say, that is not totally out of character for you, the moving the worm. Do you think that kind of thing would be out of character for me?
If you picked up a worm?
Yeah, or a snail.
Did you pick up a snail?
Yeah, because there was a snail that lived at my old house.
Wait, you just looked at me? Or a snail.
Or maybe like a snail. An escargot. There was a snail that lived on my driveway at my old house. And by lived, I mean like it kept
Same snail every day.
Yeah, I mean, I assume they can't move that fast.
Yeah, no.
Famously. So there was a snail that would be in the middle of the driveway, and I was like, don't be here. There's always cars coming in and out of here. You're gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
And I have a lawn right there. And I'm not someone
Yeah,
who
Annie
would
doesn't do this crap.
I don't think.
Yeah, when we got roaches at our old place.
Smoosh.
Smoosh.
Yeah.
I was running the show there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even be smooshing them.
No, you hid in your room if there was a bug.
Yeah, I hate bugs. But I felt bad, and I felt like he was going to get crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept moving him to the lawn. And I was like, wow, I'm so nice. And then I kept checking on him to be like, okay, stay here. And then I would like see the next day he would move a little bit. Or she. And because obviously they move so slow, but then they'd make it back onto the driveway.
So it makes you think, like, do they want to be in the sun?
So then I was thinking, oh, maybe you're
it's
like
freezing.
Cold over here.
Maybe the snail was cold.
So then I was like, honestly, this is on you.
This is Darwinian at this point, and you know.
And then I moved to St. Catharines. So.
Oh, this was just now?
It was in my old house.
Okay, when you said your old house, Annie, I pictured you on Albertus as a child. I did not know you meant the beaches last year.
I meant in like the summer. Or in like September.
Wait,
honestly.
That's so funny. I totally thought you were. This was a kid's story. Like I
No,
pictured you. Baby.
That's why I said, isn't it kind of out of character for me that like an adult woman is like caring about a snail?
Yeah, you know that's really nice of you. Okay, so both of us have grown into some sort of empathy for small creatures.
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful.
And but it is also kind of funny how I like. I mean, we do this with all animals, but like, you know, there's a clear delineation between like I care if this snail gets crushed. And like, I'm going to crush this spider.
Yeah, 100%. I recently have started feeling bad about crushing spiders. I try and just put them outside.
I just vacuum them up. Because it's like, seems like less
mess.
You know, less mess, less, it's sort of like, I don't know what happens in the vacuum.
It's kind of like
it's not on me. Maybe you just go for a little ride.
Maybe you crawl out of there.
Maybe you crawl out, but that's none of my business.
It's really none of your business. It's kind of like, did you see Oppenheimer?
I did. Did you?
I just did.
Did you like it?
I fucking loved it.
Okay, I loved it too, but that could really go either way with you sometimes.
Well, you know I love Christopher Nolan.
You do.
So
and I don't.
Really? You don't like Christopher Nolan?
I like The Dark Knight.
Okay.
A lot.
All right.
But that was a great
You
film.
must have liked Inception. Your crush was.
I didn't like Inception.
Really?
I like my crush, Leo. But I actually didn't like Inception.
Interesting.
I was way too confused. And I find that in a lot of his movies.
You have to watch them like a few times, and then it's like, you know why I like Christopher Nolan? Because I got into him in high school when I had time to do that. Because all of his movies make
I ain't got the time.
No one's watching a 3-hour movie multiple times, but in high school, like literally I was such a like nerd Christopher Nolan addict that I could just really understand all of them. Like,
yes, I can appreciate that he is a good filmmaker, but my takeaway has been like, yeah, I just don't feel like being this confused in movies. So I went into Oppenheimer being like, okay.
Did you go to the theater?
For Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I went into the experience on my couch.
Okay. Did Luke watch it?
Yeah, we watched it together.
That was my follow-up because did he have ADD?
We paused to make teas and like take a break. We took like our own intermission halfway through.
Yes.
But we both really liked it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't confused. And I think it did a really good job of not lagging for a long movie. Like it had so many different parts and like so many, like the flashback or like the black and white bits, and it was just nice how time passed.
Okay, we'll talk about this later because I don't think this is like podcast thing, but I do want to know why you think that Robert Downey Jr.'s part was in black and white.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, we'll discuss later. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even look it up after, but I was like, that was good and not confusing and great job.
And
when it won Best Picture, I'm like, yeah.
I honestly find that most of Christopher Nolan's movies don't ever lag, but I understand they can get confusing. But this is all to say, I was going to say, your vacuum is like Oppenheimer with the bomb because it's none of his business what they do with it.
Right. I'm just making the technology.
Just because he had the ability to present a metaphorical vacuum to the government, it doesn't mean that was his problem they dropped it on Japan.
Right. Or in my case, Dyson's not saying kill spiders with this. It's saying, here's a little thing to clean up your house.
And if
I don't know what you're going to be cleaning up. But that's none of my business.
And you're kind of like, and you know what? Whatever you want to gobble up with your little vacuum mouth, hey,
I'm just going to press the button and close my eyes.
Should we get into some questions?
Which, for the record, I don't think they should have done to Japan.
Oh, no.
But we can't get on Japan again.
We can't
can't. No, you
simply,
can't utter the word Japan.
I can't without getting fucking annihilated. But also, this is all to say I'd love to talk about Oppenheimer with you more because
Great. I'm sleeping over, so.
It blew me the hell away.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
I'd love to discuss.
Blew me away.
More.
And I do agree that every award Oppenheimer won was well worth it. Like, Robert Downey Jr. was...
Oh, I agree, except for the Robert Downey Jr. one. Not because he wasn't great. I just am like... Was that hard to do? I don't know. Haven't we had this conversation?
Yes.
I have a problem sometimes with Oscar-winning performances that, like, don't seem that difficult or, like, he had a lot of dialogue, for sure.
Who was he up against?
Great. But I just am kind of like, I don't know. Look it up.
Because
I just am kind of like, for me, I want an Oscar winning performance to be like no one else could have done that role. That's sort of what I look, if I were at
No, I totally get what you mean.
I would be like, no one else could have played that. And as great as it was, like, I have no problems with it. I'm just like, I do think someone else could have played that role. I didn't think that needed to be Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. And I mean, I feel like it's different just because it's
but he was great. Like, I don't have a problem. I'm not like mad about it.
I didn't see American Fiction, did you?
No.
Okay, so I wouldn't know
Who
if this
else?
Sterling K. Brown, Ryan Gosling. I mean,
Okay, that wasn't gonna win.
that was not hard. That is my definition of it's not hard.
It's supporting also, right?
That's what I was just gonna say. Supporting actor isn't the same as like the chameleon that is like
so true. I was thinking that it was lead, but of course not.
Like Cillian Murphy winning. Yeah,
amazing,
100%.
He was great. Also, anytime someone does a different accent than their own,
give them a fucking award.
Do it. Be nominated for an Oscar.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know who else really he was up against in that I would have seen, but
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, Mark Ruffalo, which I also haven't seen Poor Things, but apparently he's incredible.
Right, and he is a weirdo in that movie, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But Poor Things won a lot of shit.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where the Academy's rigged, and they were like, Robert Downey Jr.
He's
it's time
paid
to
his
give him
dues, and he was great, and
Yeah.
obviously, like, spoiler alert, a big part of that movie.
Huge part of that movie.
Like a big.
Yeah.
Important.
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't talk about this any further because we might spoil it. All right, let's get into some questions. This person says,
Oh, you want to talk about the little thing we had to talk about at the end?
Oh, guys, we have something to talk about at the end. That's juicy.
Okay, we'll do questions first.
Yeah, that'll be our ending. That we'll sign off with that.
Gotta keep them wanting more.
Yeah, so just fucking keep listening because we're going to talk about Dressgate if you haven't heard of it, but we'll tell you about it. It's not imposter syndrome unless successful, right? I don't get it.
Unless you're successful.
I don't know. Hi, Annie and
we'll
Sam.
Find out. Why would we be trying to decipher the title?
Why don't we just read the fucking question? Hi, Annie and Sam. Longtime listener, longtime problem haver. Join the club, sister. Considering the fact you are both creatives, I wanted your input / experience. I frequently will have an idea for a writing project, and as quickly as the idea came to me, I think that's stupid. Does this happen to you guys? How many good ideas do you think never made it off the ground because of insecurity? Cheers, XXX. Is this a Brit? If you say cheers, XXX.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Okay, I do love to call out a Brit when I hear it. It's not imposter syndrome unless successful, right?
Right, like, so she's saying it is a she, or we don't know.
I don't know.
They're saying that imposter syndrome, like, can you only have imposter syndrome if, like, you're at the point of creating something? Like, do you think like Lena Dunham had imposter syndrome when she was creating Girls versus, like, I have imposter syndrome at the mere idea of doing something?
Oh, okay. Yes. No, I think you can have imposter syndrome at the mere idea of doing something. So absolutely.
I think that's mainly what stops people from doing things.
Yeah, that's like the difference between, I feel like there's some dumb quote that's like the difference between a writer and a not a writer.
It's like
is a writer like tries or something.
Yeah.
Is that motivational?
A writer like tries, okay.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like doing it really is half the battle. They always say that about acting too. Like,
yeah,
the people who are successful in acting are the ones who just didn't give up, because at a certain point you just give up because hello, you got to make money at some point. Like, I'm like this close from giving up.
Yeah.
And like,
you've been on that.
Yes, because it's like hard to sustain. You have to love it so much.
Yeah.
And you have to be so, you have to feel so in your bones that this is what I meant to do to like pull you through what is 90% an awful time.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that in my bones. So I've been very like one in, one out. But they do say about acting is like, you know, so many people have talent. It's just like, what are the ones that stick it out? And obviously there's some luck in there too.
Yeah.
But like just merely doing it is going to put you ahead.
Merely doing it is going to put you ahead. But this person's asking, have we ever had an idea that we think is stupid? Yeah. Literally, I don't get imposter syndrome because I just figure that I have the opposite of imposter syndrome. I do think everything I do is stupid, but I also just think I'm the same as everyone else.
I do think you have the exact opposite of imposter syndrome. Like you actually go in with every idea thinking like, I could fucking do this. I could do this myself actually. Like I don't even need a professional. Like I'm going to do this and I'm going to like keep all the money.
Yes.
And then you get into it and are like, oh, this is kind of like fucking annoying.
Yeah. That's basically my entire
Yeah.
personality.
But then most of the time you just still do it.
Yes, I'll always do it because my idea of that is like, yes, of course I think a lot of my ideas are stupid. A lot of times I feel like I'm not the smartest person in the room. Actually, probably most of the time I feel like that. But I also think like my whole mentality with that is like I would not be okay on my deathbed if I didn't try. So like when I tried music, I was 26. I was like, this is embarrassing. Like I quit my job in the music industry to like be a musician / bartender. And I already at that point at the 20-year-olds will know, like when you're 26, you feel like you're fucking 1,000 years old. You're like, oh no, too close to 30, can't pivot, whatever. Anyway, I went into music and I was like, this is kind of cringe. But then I was like, this is the thing. And I've stood by this since university because I wasn't like this in high school. No one knows what's in your head except you. So just pretend that you don't give a fuck. And that's what everybody sees. So I'm just like, I can pretty much do anything where can be embarrassed in my head. But no one can know that I'm embarrassed. And if anybody does anything with confidence, you're just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Exactly. I have never once thought, like seen someone try something and been like, that's weird that they tried that.
Yeah.
It's actually.
No, it's the opposite. It's jealous.
Yes, exactly. It's like cool. You're like, whoa, you just like, I will never forget when we lived together and you wanted to make an album and you just fucking figured that out and recorded it in the living room. And I was like, so many people just sit around talking about wanting to do that someday, but the circumstances aren't right or like whatever. And you were just like, I actually don't care. And I'm going to figure this out as I go. And I'm just going to do it. And I wanted to do that. And like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And same with your short. You did that. You wanted to make a movie.
Yes.
You figured that out and you just did it. And like, you might like look back and there were things you would have done differently or whatever, but you're like, I have so much to show for.
Oh, I'm happy. This is the thing too. I think you should just, if you have a good writing idea, you should just do it because like, first of all, who cares? Secondly, like you should make something. Like what, you're going to just die and never had made something? Like all the things I've made, like I did make a short film. I've made a few albums. Like, I don't know, like when I went on tour with Prozac, I'm like, this is random and fucking weird. When I sent them that audition video of me dancing in my room being like, can I, like never been on tour before. Like I always just think I will, like if I get this is going to be sick.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it, then I'll just always think about it. Like, oh, you just never wrote anything? And like just write it.
I think also these things, like especially creative projects, they morph so much as you do them.
Yes.
Like, you have to literally start doing them in order to know what is going to happen. So having an idea and being like, I can't tell if this is stupid or not. It's like, well, start writing it. It's going to form. Like it's not like you have to decide one time at the beginning if it's stupid or not stupid. Like as you go, if you think something is stupid, you just change that part or it gets better or morphs into something else. Like your show that you've been writing has had so many iterations.
Yeah,
and
it's changed way too many times.
Yeah, but like you have the idea is good and but you're not like so married to the first idea you had about it. Like you're allowing it to change. You're allowing people's opinions to come in and like morph it, and it's something you're working on. It's not something you like just do once and it's done.
Yes, and then I'm wondering for this person then if it's like you're embarrassed to yourself. Like, is that the problem, that you're like, oh, this idea is stupid? Like, who's gonna see it? You're writing something. Like, first of all, if it gets published, then it's a success, and then fucking right. And if it doesn't, then only you saw it.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok the other day that's like, people that are stressed out when they flop on TikTok are forgetting that no one saw the flop.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, no one fucking saw that. So who cares? And even the people that did see it, they, by the time you like take it down, but they watched it once and they didn't know that it flopped. Like, they don't care. No one cares.
And the amount of it's so true. Like, our standards for ourselves are so funny.
Yeah.
Like, you hold yourself to such a standard, but then when you actually think like, oh, have I ever had that thought about someone else? No. So why am I making up that they'd have it about me? Like, that is so true with social media and like TikTok. There are so many videos. 90% of the videos I watch on TikTok, I'm just like,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
And scroll. I don't think anything negative. I don't even think anything positive. I go, oh, that was interesting that you told me that. Or like, I'm just like, cool, that was your day.
Yeah.
And it does not even have to be good. And it doesn't make me hate you. Like,
Yes.
if it's just kind of boring,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of the shit I watch on TikTok is.
And also, like, having an idea of something to write that you think could be good. First of all, your opinion matters because you consume art. So
Right.
if you think it's a good idea, that means other people probably will think it's a cool idea too. And secondly, there's nothing more fun. Like, if you have an artistic brain, there's literally nothing more fun than like making a podcast or writing something or making a movie, or like when I go make music with Harak. Like, it's like the most fun shit in the world. And it is honestly unjust to deprive yourself from that joy in life. If you have an artistic mind, explore it, because it's actually not fair to yourself to be like, there's so many people that we know that, like, you know, have 9-to-5 jobs and like, and which I said that as if that's like a crazy thing. I'm just saying there's so many people I'm saying that have 9-to-5 jobs that are really artistically driven, completely separate from their job, which I would argue is a good way to be, because then your art is truly just for fun, which is the best way to enjoy it. But like, they explore those passions and they're like, you know what, like, our friend right now is learning the piano, like, or you know, like, she's picked the piano back up. She's like, whatever, I'm just gonna get a piano off Marketplace and fucking learn again. I think everybody should have an artistic outlet if they have that in their brains. If you don't have an artistic brain, then no worries. Fucking
And just
crunch some
don't
numbers.
even bother prejudging something before you've done it. Like, let it take shape. Let yourself figure out what it's going to be before you're like trying to
I also
judge it.
don't think that anybody is blindly confident enough to think everything they do is a brilliant idea.
Yes,
I
right.
think people like fuck around and find out. I think I think every single artist probably fucks around and finds out. Do you know how many like songs are on the cutting room floor?
Yeah.
That are probably great songs, like Taylor Swift's B-sides, or what are they called? From the Vault. Like, those are just a bunch of songs that didn't make it back then, and like, it's like she just fucked around and tried, you know?
Even this podcast, we like have been saying we should start a podcast for so long, and I remember feeling like embarrassed by that, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was just sort of like, what would we talk about, and what, like, I feel like we could have done this so much sooner, and who cares? Like, it came to us at the time that was right, and I'm having a great time.
Yes.
And who even knows if, like, where this will go. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
But I actually do think it, like, that held me back for a while, being like, that's...
Is that cringe?
Is that cringe?
Yeah.
Is that a dumb idea? Will anyone even care?
Yeah. Well, no one cares.
turns
No
out-
one will care if you don't do it. And if you do
People
it...
care.
Oh, now people care. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, our numbers are fucking popping these days, people. Someone sponsor us. I'll take this opportunity to plug our two favorite companies, sponsors that don't pay us,
Go on.
but that we love. Relative Skin. All of my skin care is Relative Skin and CeraVe. But
Oh, yeah, you never showed me.
Oh, yeah, I have it
I'm
here.
sleeping over tonight.
Yes,
I'll
you can
use
put
it.
some on your face.
Okay.
Yes, Relative Skin. The code is Dollspace 20, which is fucking sick. That's
a good code.
Sounds like 20%, eh? And then, of course, Stellar Eats Cooking, also known as Stellar Eats, which is their actual name. And the code for that is Annie20, because we were feeling generous and I was feeling generous, I should say, and said, I don't need any of the clout. Annie can take this promo code.
So I did.
So she did. So in conclusion to that, yes, we all feel dumb, and the difference is we all feel stupid, but half of us just do it anyway. So fucking do it anyway, because you're going to have fun, and that's what matters more.
And nobody is going to be like, wow, that's stupid.
No,
that
I'll
she
be
wrote
proud
something.
of you. Hey, if you write something, why don't you send it in to us? We'll read it.
Yeah, not on the pod.
Yeah, we won't read it on the pod, but if you want like feedback, I'm a writer.
Creative, yeah.
Is something and maybe I say.
Maybe that's helpful. No, you totally are a writer. And maybe that's also helpful sometimes to have like a accountability.
Unbiased. Yes, if
accountability to be like, oh fuck, they actually said like they want proof. We're asking for proof. Yeah. If you want.
Okay, if you want, cough it up, bitch.
Yeah.
We'll read it and we'll give you honest feedback offline, of course.
Of course.
I mean, off the record. But online, it'll be over email. All right. This is number 2. Subject. Why am I even mad? Hi, I won't mince words.
I love it.
Who is this chick?
Sounds like me.
I think I'm behaving like a psycho. I have been in a relationship for a while now, and he's pretty awesome. My biggest pet peeve is that he snores, and I can easily wear earplugs. What is weird is that every time I see someone I have dated in the past, had a serious crush on, post their significant other, I get mad.
Wait, say that again.
She's saying every time I've dated someone or had a crush on someone who has dated
other people,
another significant other, I get mad. I think that's what she's saying. Like,
they get mad about their exes?
I'm going to finish.
Okay.
Annie. Like, what on earth is wrong with my brain? These girls seem lovely, and rationally, I want everyone to be happy, but I feel mad and petty. I have to stop myself from thinking, ugh, she looks like... This is not me. I don't believe in this stuff. How do I stop being so weird? This is recent too. I didn't do this months ago. I don't think anything has changed. Has this happened to anyone you know? Do I need to expedite getting a therapist? SOS. Okay. I think what she's saying is, and this is SOS from Crazy Kate. Crazy Kate, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like what you're saying here is that when you date someone, every time I see someone I have dated in the past.
Oh! She gets mad about their current significant other, her ex's current significant other.
No. I think what she's saying is, wait. Every time I see someone I have dated in the past post their current. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay. We understand.
Oh.
So you're saying. What you're saying is you've been in this relationship for a long time. You randomly hate when he snores and does random shit. And you get pissed when your exes post their new girls.
Yeah.
And it only started happening recently. Has this happened to anyone you know? I'll be honest with you, no.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
this has happened to me.
Where you started like looking, okay.
Yeah, well, where I've gotten like randomly obsessed and jealous with my ex's new girlfriend.
Really?
Not obsessed because like whatever, mostly they're on private. But like
boring. Okay, this is from Sam and Annie. If you're dating our exes, can you just like open your profile? Like
what are you doing?
Don't be fucking
Mine's
coy.
open.
Yeah. Like let us take a peek if you're so sick.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say that it's like jealousy, but it's comes from a place of curiosity. Like I'm curious about your life now. Someone who you knew so well and like so intimately, and then with this like stranger.
Yeah, I need to know the stranger.
It's kind of interesting.
I feel like I know my boyfriend's new girlfriends like the back of my hand. I know their fucking birthdays.
Okay, yeah, you were acting like you've never heard of such a phenomenon.
No. Get mad. Like she's saying, get mad. Like get pissed at your boyfriend who you've been with for a long time. Like I think
she's not pissed at her boyfriend.
Yeah, she's saying everything he does pisses me off. Like he snores.
I think she's giving context to like. I don't think it says anything to do with her current boyfriend. I think she's saying my exes. I get mad at seeing my exes post their new ones.
Guys, I feel like I so butchered this and like don't even know what the fuck I meant when I read this.
Okay. Do you want me to read it?
No, I know what she means now. When I first, I took this as, this was so wrong. I took this as I'm randomly getting mad at my boyfriend for these little things, like he's snoring, but now she's saying my boyfriend's damn near perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect. The only thing is that he snores, which is fine. I can wear earplugs.
So why do I care about my exes?
So why do I care? Yeah.
Completely different question than the one originally.
She almost gave us too much context.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, then of course I relate to this.
Yeah. It was the snoring that was throwing you. You're like, can't relate.
No. What I thought she was asking for was like, is she good? I'm like, no, you're not. You fucking hate your boyfriend and you're thinking about your ex. But now I'm just realizing you randomly out of nowhere have gotten obsessed with your ex's new girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I've done that.
I don't know why randomly out of nowhere is interesting though. Because I've only had that after, like, when it's been kind of, if they've gotten a new girlfriend, like when it's been kind of recent. But I don't know that now, 6 years into my relationship, I'm going to randomly get, like, mad about my exes. I mean, I guess I don't know how long she's been in this relationship, but, like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I would only be into who my ex is dating and, like, feel some type of way about who my ex was dating when either I'm in a new relationship or hers is new.
Yes.
So she's saying I wasn't like this a few months ago.
Yeah,
so
what brought this on?
So I would like look into some like just other things that are happening in your life that are making you feel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it could be that this isn't even about like relationships, but like something different. Like who the hell knows why your brain does certain things like that? It could be like, do you have like insecurity about? You know, I'm not trying to like put ideas in your head. I'm just saying like there's a million reasons for this. Like, do you have insecurity about your body, and do you look at these other girls? Is it something between you and girls that,
or is it like something that the ex, like, are you maybe feeling like you're missing something? Not that your boyfriend is fully missing this thing, but like if you're in a period where your relationship is, let's say you're like not going on dates as much, or it's just like you're going through the motions, maybe as all relationships ebb and flow like that. Yeah. Maybe you're looking at the highlight reel of your ex, and you're like, as we said in the last episode, rose-colored glasses. Yes. You like to look at all of your relationships and all of the fun things you did together.
Your ex's relationships always look good, eh?
Yeah, exactly, because you only see them the tiniest little bit on Instagram. And it's so funny, too, because I'm like, I feel like I barely even post Luke, and I definitely don't post our best times. So I'm like, wow, my exes are kind of lucky that they don't really see that. Yeah. Like, I post that he exists, but I wouldn't say I share that much about
you post that
our
he
relationship.
Exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
you're
it's
like,
you're actually not getting anything from me. Like, you're not even getting a highlight reel. You kind of are getting, like, this is who I'm marrying, by the way. This is what he looks like.
You're getting a day in the life.
No, you're not.
Okay.
I'm saying our day-to-day life is much better than it seems on social media.
Oh, so they're getting a fucking garbage version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I don't even really post that much. But then, and then I have some exes that don't post at all.
Oh, so boring.
Or don't have Instagram. And I'm so dying to know if my ex is having a baby.
I know, I'm dying to know that too. I feel like
they
we'll know.
Both don't have social media. No. I had to see his wedding pop up randomly.
No, we'll know from his sister.
Yeah, well, I hope.
Yeah, she better.
Maybe when the baby's like 1.
Oh my God.
Also, but it's the best when your ex has social media, or like his girlfriend does, and you can just kind of check in, checking in.
I hope it's like a show. It's like watching a show. You're just like, what's going on now?
But I guess why it's fun is because there aren't feelings wrapped up. So what the problem
she gets mad.
That's bad.
Mad is wild. Like, jealous is one thing. Sad is one thing.
Yeah.
Anger is a secondary emotion.
Yeah, mad. I guess figure out are you mad? Do you think, maybe is it like exes who you feel have like done you wrong or treated you badly?
She said anyone
dated.
I have dated in the past or had a serious crush on. So that's like,
okay, then I am afraid to say it's something in your current relationship.
You do think that?
I do think, because like,
if it's anybody,
why do you care if not? Like, because obviously you're feeling mad because you're jealous. There's no way you could feel mad if it's around one person and you feel like they did you wrong. Then okay, mad. But anyone you've ever had a crush on, that's just like a blanket jealousy for this thing you think that all these people are getting that you're clearly not getting. I just don't understand how that could be like not jealousy. What do you think? To get mad? Like, curiosity is one thing.
Curiosity is normal.
Yeah.
Healthy even.
Except for
not
the cat.
Toxic at all. Yeah.
But, mad.
And for that snail on your drive.
And that the worm fared well.
The worm fared well. I put that fucker back. Mad. No, I tend to agree with you. I'm just searching my brain for other options. Like, I'm like, that sounds like something's wrong in your relationship. Obviously, if you're like obsessed with your,
either that or you are feeling like very insecure for some other reason.
I was just gonna say, because there's nothing like like, it doesn't necessarily need to be about your relationship. It's weird that, like, your significant others, or sorry, your ex's new significant other can really, I just feel like it's a breeding ground to compare yourself with, like, everything. Like, they're skinny, they're tall, they're tanned, like, whatever. I did this with my ex's significant other recently. I saw a photo of her at Pilates and I was like, she's fucking gorgeous. And then I was just like, and she's, like, fit. But it wasn't about him. I don't care about him. Right. It was more just like, it's because we are in competition, but we're not. We're not in competition.
And you like to plant in your ex's head that they're like, oh, thank God I'm with this chick and not with that beast that I was with before.
Yes,
like,
yes. You want, and
kind of like the other thing we were saying, like, you plant all these things that people are thinking, and it's like, I am very happy with Luke, but I'm not going like, oh, thank God.
Oh my God, I've never said thank God.
I mean, personality wise, yeah, there's some people, like, they obviously, Luke and Joe treat us better than some other exes.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. I've never, like, looks wise, like, I'm so happy with Luke's looks, but I'm never like, oh, and thank God I have someone who's 6'1".
True.
Rather than that troll who was 5'11". Like, it's so funny how we think that people are comparing us like that when it's like, I've actually never had that thought. Maybe men are different, but.
Yes, exactly. It's a you problem. It's a you problem. Yeah. Whatever this is a you problem. I guess the upshot is we can't possibly know what's going on in your brain. I wish you did mince words and say more about your thoughts and feelings towards this, because that's too vague. Sorry, can't answer the question. That's the whole podcast. Sorry, you should have said more.
Too vague.
No, too vague. But I think it's obviously one of the two. It's either a problem in your relationship or a problem with your own brain. And do you need to expedite therapy?
Yeah. I don't think it could hurt.
Yeah, I think you need to explore, like, what the purpose of I don't think it's, to answer your question, I don't think it's weird, but I do think it means there's a problem somewhere else. I don't think it's bizarre, though. Of course, I've heard of people that become obsessed like this. This is
absolutely. And there are times in your life sometimes where you're like
feeling extra insecure.
Yeah, and you're like more into checking on that stuff than others, and then, like, you know, when it goes months and you're like, oh my God, I haven't checked on him. Yeah, so I get it. Like, it happens, and sometimes you don't know what jogs your memory that day. So it's not like dire.
Yeah.
I do think therapy probably could help if you find that this is a problem, which you obviously do because you're writing in.
Yeah.
Like, if this was just fun checking on your exes, then I think that's fine and normal. But the fact that you're like, okay, what is actually happening? I think it's good that you're looking inward.
Yes, it's good to look inward, and definitely continue to look inward, because clearly you need to find the source of this anger.
And if you find that when you do it, it's making you feel worse, then just maybe, like, even pre-therapy, just stop. Like, I know it's so annoying. Like,
when someone's like, just don't.
Oh, just like, don't do that. Like, block everyone. Okay, like, annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if sometimes, especially with social media stuff, you do have to actively unfollow and block things that don't make you feel good.
Oh, 100%. We're privy to too many things that can make you feel like garbage. Or do, like, a week of it. And that could be a good idea. Like, do a week and then see how you feel after a week, if there's a difference, or, like, in that difference, in that time, what did you notice? Like, do you feel better about your body? Do you feel better about your relationship? Do you feel better about things? Or do you feel the fucking same? Go to therapy in that case. I mean, I think you should go to therapy anyway. I think everybody should go to therapy, not just you. I don't think you're unhinged or sick.
No.
I think you're a good woman and not crazy Kate. You're a little lovable Kate. Okay? Keep us posted on that, though. I'd love to know what the hell is up with that. Sorry, I don't feel like I answered that question at all, but
I think we really did.
Yeah, you really did.
Well, as long as one of us did.
Yeah, true. We both don't. We can't all.
That's why there's two of us.
That's why. That's right. If this was just my own podcast, I'd be like, bitch, I don't know. Go to therapy.
No, I think there's some questions that I don't know how to answer at all.
True. Like about questioning your looks because you're so pretty.
Well, no, I did a whole episode on how I'm ugly, actually. And guess what? I'm getting my extensions in tomorrow. So
Too bad you couldn't
prepare to be sick of me.
I am prepared to be sick of you for the next 2 months, because Annie's getting married soon. Which
2 months today.
Is it the 19th?
Yeah.
2 months today. Oh my God.
Scary.
2 months before my wedding was Halloween, which was actually scary.
Oh.
spooky.
Okay.
But no, this is very exciting. This is the very exciting time, but also the most stressful time of your life, probably.
Yeah, kind of.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Well, next month will be worse, so enjoy this month.
Oh, wait. I was going to say, right now is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like...
Actually, May will be annoying.
I feel like a month out will be the worst.
Yes. I feel like December was really annoying because I knew it was that month, but it was so far at the end that I'm like, this is the month I get married, but it was like the last day.
I think in my mind, because it's in May, I'm like getting married May 1. But it's like, oh, it's actually kind of towards the end of May.
Yeah. You got a good amount of time.
In hindsight, I kind of wish my bachelorette wasn't exactly a month before, but it's okay. It's only a few days, but like I'm gonna get back to like a shit show.
Or that's not, because after a certain amount of time, like the 2 weeks before your wedding, you're basically just sitting there.
I know, but the 2 weeks before that,
the 2 weeks before that will be bad,
and that's when I get back.
Yes,
but it's okay. I have a planner. Okay. All good.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine. You'll just get through it. Or not. Just kidding.
I'll just get through it. This thing that that's a year has been amounting to, and I've spent so much money on.
I know.
Just got to get through it.
It's literally, that's how it feels towards the end. It's insane. And then you'll be really happy about it like a month after it
also,
happens.
I'm fucking renovating my house right now, which is dumb. Not my choice.
Exactly.
But
that was a dumb choice on Luke's part, but that's okay. Whatever. Okay. What are you going to do?
We got a leak.
There was a leak.
It was a dumb choice on the leak's part.
Yeah. Leak started and they said, let's fucking tear up this kitchen. But you know what? That's what happens when you're a homeowner. I think. I don't know. We'll get back to the questions. They said. Open it up is the subject.
Wow.
Would love your thoughts on a more general topic. What do you think about opening up a relationship? Would that be something you'd ever consider? What would the conditions have to be? My boyfriend of 8 years wants to give it a go and I'm on the fence. Okay, I'm gonna just pretend. I feel like this is Katie again, but I don't know. Okay, we have a friend, Katie, who has been trying on different voices as she writes in, and there's little things that give it away that it's her, and it'll just be like something random, like the budgie question from last episode.
Was our friend.
And I said after I read it, I'm like, do we think this is our friend?
I didn't think at all.
Annie was like, why would our friend want the answer to this? None of our friends have a bird. And
no, I wasn't thinking that.
No,
I was just thinking our friends would want us to talk about like sex and relationships. I thought more than like pet, like especially coming from Katie. I was just like, you don't even have a pet or care about.
Yeah,
this.
I know. She is so.
Maybe we shouldn't even be saying that it's Katie.
Katie.
She's randomly private.
She is randomly private, but
not randomly.
Well, her name's Katie. It's not like, it's not like Gwendolyn.
Maybe
Pierce.
Katie was Crazy Kate.
No.
She wouldn't do that.
She wouldn't do that. That would be
okay, so what gave it away this one? Open it up?
Okay.
I feel like I can hear her saying open it up.
I could be wrong about this because I don't actually know, but she's been trying to like do more like, I know that she's been trying to write in and like try and hide her identity more. But something about this.
Does it show how little questions we get that every week Katie's question gets in there?
Yeah, guys, can you
write in? So our friend Katie doesn't have to keep being different.
To be fair, there are some questions people write in and some of them don't actually ask the questions. Like some people will like write it and send me a novella of like something random. And I'm like, well, what was that? And then like, it's not a question I can answer. But Katie always writes in a question that's interesting. In saying that, I do not know that this is
okay,
Katie.
Let's act like it's not because you just made that up.
I did just make that up and I don't know. I don't know why I think this is her. I just made that up. But
okay, anyway, but it's a good question.
It's a really good question. Okay, so would I consider being in an open relationship? What would the conditions have to be? Something about me is that I love open relationships in theory. Love them. In fact, every boyfriend that I've had, except for my husband, Joe, has been an open relationship on my request. And when I started dating Joe, I said, let's be in an open relationship, thinking like normal men that hate women would be down to do that. Like, oh,
open
cool,
it up.
Chill girl, open it up. And he was like, no. And I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, I want to be in an open relationship. He's like, okay, then you can dump me. And he wouldn't dump me. He was like, you can dump me. And I was like, no. And now we're married.
The least open you
can get. The least open you can frickin' get. In saying that, Would I? Okay.
I bet you would if Joe was down.
I would love to fuck more people before I die. Of course. I think everybody would, though. Like, if everybody could, like, freely, without guilt, like, have sex with more than one person for the rest of their lives, I feel like a lot of people would do that. I don't know if that's about, like, open relationship. It's more just like...
See, I like the possibility of being able to do that if you're, like, vibing with someone. Like, how cool if you could take it there and to just have that option and just, like... But I actually don't feel like, oh, I, like... wish I could fuck more people, if you know what I mean. Like,
yes.
I don't actually have the desire to be I want to experience more out there, but I like the idea of, like, no boundaries if you're really out vibing.
I think if I was in an open relationship today, let's say Joe came home today and he was like, open relationship, it's not that I'm, like, in the mood to, like, actively run out and find the first person I can fuck. I think of it the same way you do. Yeah. Like, what if I was out one night, like, on vacation? Let's say I'm in Vegas with you, and there's just some dude there, and I can just have one of those nights, because what marriage takes away from you is, and so do long-term relationships, is that. Exactly. That's the thing I miss.
Even the potential. Because you have this fucking thing on your hand, too. I know. Like, it's like you can't even vibe... like in the same way.
We gotta leave our rings in the room. We gotta leave our rings in the safe. We gotta leave.
I'm wearing white though.
Okay, with a sash.
No, but it's like it's more about that than it exactly. Like if we were to be in an open relationship, there's no part of me that would be getting on Hinge or, like, getting on Tinder and trying to fuck. Like, that's not...
And I will say all my open relationships were based on the same premise. It was not that, like... I honestly didn't really end up taking advantage of it at all. And I will say that the open relationship in both cases was absolutely my undoing and our relationship's undoing. So as much as I like them in theory, I do not think they work in practice. Unless you're, like, poly. Which doesn't sound like you are. Sounds like you've been in a relationship for 8 years, and you also sound like my friend Katie. But I feel like... But if you're not Katie and you actually are a poor stranger that's getting mistaken for her, that's writing in and has been in a relationship for 8 years, then yeah, you're not poly. You're like... I think the only way an open relationship can work is... if you're both genuinely on the same page and are aware of the risks. Because I know too many people, myself included, that an open relationship has just led to somebody meeting someone else. That's how my first relationship ended. I say that my first boyfriend cheated on me, but he really broke the rules of the open relationship, which is like...
got another girlfriend.
Which is got another girlfriend. Yeah. So he didn't cheat on me, actually. It's just a better story when you say he did. But, like, he was allowed to be fucking that girl.
It still is kind of cheating because he just cheated emotionally, sort of, rather than physically, right? Because, like,
he did both.
But he was allowed to physically.
He was allowed to cheat physically, and then he
wasn't allowed to have another full-on girlfriend that he's also now marrying.
He's marrying, so it actually really worked out. So I'm glad we did that open relationship, because he met his...
Sounds like he was going to do it regardless.
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter. It sounds like he met a cute little wife, cute little towny wife.
And so did you.
Yeah. And I met a little towny husband. Anywho.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally, but mainly because of the life I've chosen to have. Like, there's a lot of things I would do differently if... It seems, like, redundant to say, but, like, if I wanted a different life. Like,
yes.
I want a more traditional husband and wife relationship, like, house, kids, in the burbs.
Yeah, husband's banging the secretary, and maybe the mailman comes by, and I give him a "How's your father?"
No.
Okay, well, I'm just saying everybody cheated back then. Then.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this is about cheating. This is about an open relationship. He can still cheat in the traditional way if he wants, I guess, but then we're gonna get divorced in the traditional way. But I'm just saying, like, I as a person could see myself being into an open relationship. I've proposed it once before to a man, and he said no, and then we just broke up.
Yeah,
but because that's what I really wanted, and that's what I fear. If your boyfriend is just, like, suggesting this, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, not sure how I feel, I, like, fear that it's, like, sowing the seeds for a breakup. But that's not what I was gonna say. That's, put a pin in that. I, as a person, could see myself being into that, if I were designing my life differently. But that is not the life I want to have with Luke. Like, we want to, and I know there are people who are in polyamorous relationships who have kids and whatever, and they sort it out. For me personally, I would find that difficult. So it's like, if I were not interested in having kids, let's say, that's a long life with just me and Luke fucking somewhere. Like,
well, it also depends where you're at, because I wouldn't consider it now. You wouldn't consider it now. But both of us would consider it years ago. Like, you and Luke broke up for a hot minute.
And with a different partner. Like, I would have considered it with Bass. Because of how our relationship was, and who he was, and who I was, and what we both, like, wanted out of life.
Yeah. I feel like he's, like, still in an open relationship.
Who knows?
Yeah.
See, that's someone whose girlfriend I would like to stalk, but they're, like, cool and German and don't fucking
post.
But, like, with who Luke is as like, he would literally never be down for that. And who I am with him and what our relationship like is, like, very uniquely us, and I don't think it would do well with that kind of vibe. So I think it kind of does depend.
In theory, though, if you're not putting it, like, me and Joe could never do an open relationship. Like, exactly. I don't think, like, that's possible.
So in theory, I am not opposed to it as, like, me solo, not taking anyone into account, but, like,
yes, I also think that
in my current state.
Yes, I do think it's a sowing the seed thing, and I do think it's
I also wouldn't get married personally. I just wouldn't get married. I just think, and if this is Katie, I know she'll agree with me. I just personally am like, forgive me if this sounds too, like, traditional family values. I just am like, what's the point of getting married? I just think, like, marriage is two people. Doesn't have to be a man and a woman at all. I'm just saying, like, it's the two of you creating this family. And yes, people can create families without getting the government involved. It's just like, I guess I just am like, what's the point of even getting married if you're going to do that?
Yeah.
So if you're dating someone and you want to shake it up, fine. Even if you own property together, your common law, whatever. I just feel like, why take the step to do this commitment? Like, marriage is about commitment.
A commitment ceremony.
It's so
like, what's
intense.
the point?
Yeah, it's a commitment ceremony and signing papers and merging your lives literally to be like, it's going to be me and you. So I guess I just would be like,
a lot of people find that romantic. Like, it's hardcore.
I find it really romantic. I mean, that's why I'm fucking doing it. I guess I would just, if Luke came and said, like, let's open this up, I'd be like, why'd you get married?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yes.
That's
and I don't know if this person is getting married, but
true. She didn't.
But they have been together 8 years. So that's a long time.
If this is who we think. But if this is who we think, she's not asking for herself.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, no, I'm pretending
topic.
This isn't who we think. Because
if God forbid. 8 years?
Yeah, it says,
okay. I thought
my boyfriend of 8 years wants to give it a go. And
I thought you were
just
just saying that. But I guess Katie hasn't been.
No, I don't think. I think Katie, if this is Katie, she's writing it from a pretend perspective of a pretend person. God forbid it's not Katie, and we are just not taking this girl serious. This poor girl that needs real help.
And also, Katie, Miss Private, doesn't want us to be saying her name this much, I'm sure.
Oh, fuck. That's too bad.
Okay.
Too bad. I just said, as I said earlier, it's not like her name is Gwendolyn Pierce. Did you hear me say that earlier?
To who?
You.
What? No.
I said it's not like, I don't know. I just said, like, it's not like she has a crazy name like Gwendolyn Pierce. Her name's Katie, for fuck's sakes. And
you are a writer. A writer to your core.
I know. I'm going to make a fantasy novel with the lead character.
Oh my God. If I had to come up with a name off the top of my head, I'd be like, John Doe.
Yeah, but if I said, think of a weird name. Like,
now I can only think of Gwendolyn Pierce.
That's fine.
Ramona.
Yeah.
Sapphire McQuaid.
You didn't need to give her a middle name.
That's what made it weird.
Like, you kept talking after Sapphire. Like,
because I was like,
she held the mic with both hands while she said that too. She was like, yeah, she stared at the wall. What the hell was that? Is that you being creative? And you know what I'm not doing?
Yeah, that's me being creative.
And you know what I'm not doing? I'm not shitting on that, because that was a really good attempt. That wasn't a dumb idea. That was a good name. Ramona Sapphire McQuaid. Did we already tell the Taylor from Oasis story on here? Did I already tell? Just a side note about Ramona Sapphire McQuaid and my favorite fucking story ever. I think I've told this on here before, but I forget. One of our friends, and I'll just say her name blatantly, Emma, had a crush on one of the bartenders at a restaurant in Toronto, and she would keep sitting at the bar to like try and get his number. And then one night, I think that's what happened. She got his number one night, and then they went to like an after party after like chilling at the bar or whatever. And then the next day she texted him and he just never responded. So then she was like, should I double text him? Like, what do I do? Like, what if he gave me the wrong number? Like, whatever. And his name was like Justin or something. So I was like, just text him and say, hey, is this Justin? And then if he goes, who's this? You go, it's Taylor from Oasis. And she was like, why? Because, and the answer was very simple. Taylor, everybody knows a Taylor. Okay? Boy, girl, whatever. And Oasis, there were 3 bars back then in Toronto called Oasis. There was the Sex Club. There was the Patio on top of Gretzky's.
Yeah, what's the third one?
I feel like there was one more. Oasis something else. Or like Blue Oasis or something. There was like 3.
Okay. So I definitely know the Patio and the Sex Club.
I know the Sex Club because I used to do their Christmas party. If anybody wants to hear about that, write in.
Yeah, also for the record, I know of the Sex Club through that story, not for other reasons.
You've never been and played?
No, never been and played. I've played on the rooftop of the Oasis normal bar.
P&V?
What?
Penetration?
The rooftop bar, Oasis.
Yeah, played. Okay, I was talking about sex at the sex shop or the sex party.
And I was just talking about like going out for drinks.
Oh, like casual play. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you think? Oh, you
thought
I was saying
in a bathroom stall at
Oasis.
Oasis.
Oh no, that would have been cool.
No.
And made more sense.
Well, that's okay.
I just mean I've been there.
Let's get into Dressgate and then let's.
Okay, but wait. Oh, you said she should say Taylor from Oasis.
Oh my God!
And
what the
she?
hell? Oh yeah, she was no. She was like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, why would she just thought it was the funniest thing in the world? So now we always are just like.
But she didn't do it.
She messaged him, and he did say, "Who is this?"
Right.
So that means it was him, obviously, because she was
said
like,
it's Emma from Stellar Eats.
No,
Cooking?
I think she just didn't respond. She just didn't respond. I don't know, Emma, if you're listening.
Let us know.
Yeah, write in and tell us what happened. We couldn't possibly call you.
Okay.
Anyway, to answer this girl's question, I would go into an open relationship, but only if I was willing to let my relationship go, if that's where that road led me, because I think there's just understanding the inherent risk and understanding why you would want to do that in the first place. Like the only reason I would want to do that now is for like fantasy fun, which isn't a true yearning. Like I have fantasy fun in my dreams.
I was going to say fantasy fun also is way more about fantasy than it actually happening.
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah.
I also actually miss more than sex with people.
Making out with them after a bar. And
no,
then being
not
like,
even. I'm saying before even. We know what you miss. No, more than even physical contact. I miss like it not being obvious that I'm in a relationship just because of how
you can
men
flirt.
talk to you. Yeah, like just I miss that flirtiness banter where there's like the maybe something would happen here and maybe not, and that's up for me to decide. But I do. That would be the thing I miss more now, having like a very clear sign that I'm taken. I notice like sometimes it's great. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm glad I have this thing on my finger. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, I just will never be talked to in the same way by a man. Because it's true. Like men do just talk to you differently. That aren't your fucking friends' husbands.
Yeah.
But like random men talk to you differently when you're in a relationship.
You gotta be like me and just forget your ring everywhere.
Yeah.
Be more like me and forget your ring everywhere. Be more like me.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh, I'm fucking married. And it's like, oh, okay. It's still like...
Yeah, or...
Like, you gotta say it at some point.
Yeah, eventually you definitely have to say it.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, whoa. Then they're like, why'd you trick me?
I feel like these interactions are more casual, though. Well,
I'm also not really having these interactions
that that's much. What I was going to say. Like, even if you have this interaction, why would I ever get to the point where I'm married? Maybe, like, you can flirt with a guy. Like, I'm a bartender. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, ha, 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 here's your money. Bye.
True.
I'm like, that was cute. I just flirted.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
That's true.
I'm fucking crazy. And sometimes I flirt in front of Joe.
Also in Vegas.
And he's my little cuck.
And he
sits and watches.
But also in Vegas, what's fun about being on a bachelorette party is that you chill with bachelor parties.
Yeah.
And so they're in the same boat, and it's fun because it's harmless flirting. Like it's like
that's what Joe said about his bachelor party.
It's so fun. That's why I'm like actually excited for the pool party and stuff, because we did this on Christine's too. There was such a great bachelor party. And we saw them at like 2 separate places. They became our little crew for the weekend. And it was so nice because there were like a few single guys in the group and there were a few single girls in ours. But like for the most part, everyone was taken, obviously. 2 people were getting married and there were some already married. And it was just fun because we all wanted to have that little flirty moment, but it was very obvious that it wasn't going to go anywhere.
But obviously still flirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great sitch.
That's the perfect sitch, and we will have that in Vegas.
Great.
And we'll leave our rings on.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say off, and I was already
Or
arguing.
off.
No.
Kidding. Of course I'm leaving my ring on.
No, you need to make it known that you're a bachelorette party so that you're safe to the boys who are getting married, because they also want to be safe, the good ones.
Yeah, and
The
for
good
their
ones
girlfriends.
don't want to be too tempted.
They don't want to be too tempted, and for their girlfriends that are going to be stalking everybody's story at the beach club to find
They want to
the
see
girls
a
they're
bride.
with. They want to see a bride and a bunch of like, you know what? I'm keeping my ring on for the girls.
Yeah.
And also
there's gonna
for
be a
my
pregnant
husband. Who I love. What did you just say about pregnant?
I said, and there'll be a pregnant one. That's safe. Like,
yeah, you'll like the girls stalking their boyfriends at this bachelor party is just going to be ridiculous. Okay. Rachel.
It's just going to be ridiculous. Can I ask for a request?
Yeah.
Can I have a sparkling water of some sort?
Okay, here are the flavors.
Okay.
Key lime la croix,
Oh,
orange vanille,
whoa.
Lemon
Come here,
lime.
it's so hot. What'd you
lemon
say?
lime,
No, fuck no.
raspberry buble.
No. One of the first 2.
Key lime or orange vanille.
Yeah.
Choose.
Key lime, please.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to get into Dressgate right now. Annie, will I grab you your soda water?
Sorry.
Why don't you?
You want me to vamp?
Yeah, vamp.
Okay. La-da-dee, la-da-da. Hello, my baby. Okay. Oh, she's back.
I'm back.
You know I get nervous when you leave.
I
Thank
walked
you.
1 foot away. Okay, don't worry, everybody. I'm back. All right.
Oh, thank God.
I wanted to tell you guys
The
about
true host
Dressgate.
of this pod.
I like when you get nervous when I leave, though. It's cute. Okay, so basically, this is what Dressgate is, and I
Could
find
I be sipping this louder into the mic?
yeah, it's okay. I didn't even notice, but you took like a lot of little sips. Is that how you sip soda water?
No, it's because I poured it and a bunch like got all in the rim.
Oh, so you had to lick the rim like a little cat. You had to lap it up.
I had to lap it.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys about Dressgate. This is like TikTok drama that happened 2 days ago, and I have to keep this alive because I think it is the craziest situation.
Yeah.
I have, like, not just the situation itself, but the way this company, like, responded is so insane.
So bad.
So basically, a girl that Annie and I went to high school with, Annie was actually really good friends with her in high school, is getting married, same time as us. Actually, what the hell did I just say that for? Getting married.
You already got married.
I've been married.
I'm getting married in 2 months, and she's getting married in July. So
July.
very soon.
Yeah. So she went to a store in Toronto called Avenue 22 to get a wedding dress. And now this store has a bad rep for stuff like this.
I did not know this before, but then
Yes.
people were coming out of the woodwork.
Yes, the comments on the TikTok are really not right. So
But
anyway,
she had a good experience there. Oh, it's your fucking dog.
oh my dog,
Yeah.
she's just
I know.
scratching her.
I saw her little point of her ear out of the corner of my eye, and didn't seem like a dog. Anyway, when I met up with her, we got engaged actually a day apart. So we've been very.
I was gonna say it's very cute that you guys were best friends all
I
through high school,
know.
and like
We've
kind
like
of
reconnected over this.
yes, and also insane because this girl also did Annie's invitation. She's in the wedding industry. That's also worth noting.
I know, that's also very much worth noting. Yeah, so we've like reconnected over being in
Keep
the
talking.
same
I'm
phase.
getting out via bone, but I'm listening.
That's okay. Now that you've started it off, I can speak. But yeah, so we've been very much like going through our wedding planning process around the same time. And when she got her dress, I remember being like, oh my God, you got your dress so much before me, because I felt like she was like ahead of me and my wedding was first. And she
got it a year in advance.
Sorry, Sam is yelling from over there, which you obviously can't hear. She said she got it a year in advance. And that's true. I met up with her at the very beginning of August. And she was like, oh my God, I found my dress already in July. And she's getting married in July. And I didn't get my dress till October. And my wedding's in fucking May. And she had such a good experience, she said, at this place, Avenue 22 Bridal, at first. And she was saying, and this was before I found my dress, so she was being like, oh, you should go there and whatever.
I will also say I did go and try on. I've tried on dresses at one place before I went to Lovers Land.
It was there?
And it was Avenue 22 Bridal.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
Okay.
I did also have a good experience there. The girl that I had was really sweet, whatever. Who cares, though? Because fuck them.
That's not what we're here to say.
That's not what we're here to talk about. We're not talking about the good times. And also, I wouldn't know how they do business because I obviously didn't follow up.
Right.
Or they followed up a few times or whatever. Anyway. So basically, she goes in a year before her wedding. And when you're getting married, every single person in the wedding industry rushes you. They're like, you're running out of time. You're running out of time. And you're fucking not. That is not real. I don't know. I think it's just, it's kind of like forcing you into making decisions that you couldn't possibly make without taking your time because you've never done this before. So you kind of have to like think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she does what the wedding industry would say is the right thing to do. And she goes a year before her wedding and finds a dress. She puts an order. She orders it because obviously, you know, when you go try on your wedding dresses, they just clip it to you and then they have to order your size. The size comes 6 months later. When the size arrives, she goes to back to Avenue 22. She tries the dress on and it doesn't fit her at all. And obviously the size that was sent based on the measurements that the employee at Avenue 22 took of her body.
That's the reason you take measurements and you don't just order like a size 4. It's like not how it works with those kinds of dresses.
Yes, and it's not too small in the way that she gained weight. It's too small, like her nipples are showing. Like she didn't get
like her measurements are
her measurements were all wrong. And there was like a corset.
And I've seen her then and I've seen her
thinner.
recently. She's the same. Yeah. Like she's like maybe more toned, but like not like she has not changed her weight whatsoever.
Yeah. So anyway, doesn't fit her at all. Everything's fucking off, blah, blah, blah. But the store associate says to her, okay, this is no problem. I've seen this before. We can solve this with alterations. Go to this alterations person, but go ASAP because you're running out of time. This is still 6 months before her wedding. So it's like, okay, like, whatever.
No, didn't this just happen?
Yeah, but what, the month? Okay, but it came in 6 months.
4 months, I guess.
Oh, because by the time she ordered it. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever. So this is still like a few months before her wedding, whatever. The person rushes her out of there. And when she leaves the store, she has to sign like a release form or whatever and pay the remainder of the dress because she's taking the dress out of the store. She goes to the alterations place. The alterations lady immediately is like, I can't fix this. Like these cup sizes are too small where the seams are. The only thing I could maybe do is add straps. Now, if you pay $6,000 for a strapless dress, only for someone to tell you are now getting these makeshift straps, you're like, no.
And like trying to make the cups look normal by putting lace when the dress doesn't have lace on it. Like it's not like, oh, adding a little bit more lace to a simple like all white gown.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're completely changing how this dress looks.
Literally. Like it's like that's not what you paid for. So she's like, okay, the alterations lady, she leaves it with her for the night and then she goes home and she goes to sleep and she's like, I can't deal with that alteration. Like I need to just get the dress back and see what Avenue 22 can do for me, which is what her boss told her to do, who's also in the wedding industry. Again, this is the chick that designs invites, like really nice wedding invites in Toronto.
Paper and Post.
Paper
Great
and Post.
Place.
Yeah. So
and they're doing all of my day of stationery, like all of my menus.
Why didn't you ask me? Have you seen me on Canva?
Well, because I asked Rachel.
I just kid. Also, even if I got the job on Canva, Christine would be jealous because she also fucks with Canva heavy.
That's so true.
Both of us are just on Canva making our dreams a reality.
And you guys did a great job. My signage that Christine made for my shower was beautiful. And actually, Rachel messaged me and said, I loved your signage. And I told Christine that. And I was like, a real graphic designer said that she loved your signage. And she was like, I'm honored.
Should I just out of nowhere send Rachel the welcome thing to my wedding and just be like, do you like this? So I can get the same validation?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I'll think about it. This was my idea. Okay. Anyway, so she takes the dress out. She goes back to Avenue 22. Oh, and she had to pay for the alterations on site, and then she canceled. So she was out $1,300 for the alterations as well. She brings the dress back to Avenue 22. She talks to the manager, who basically says, like, who is like, okay, let's see what we can do. This dress clearly doesn't fit you at all, like whatever. And they go back and forth, and ultimately Avenue 22 says to her, you took the dress out of the store. You signed the release. This is now not our problem. You're out $6,000 and fuck you, basically.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything. It's not our problem.
And
the manufacturer, they say there's no problem.
Oh, and that was insane too, because originally they contacted the manufacturer, and a lot of people on TikTok have theories about this because this went viral on TikTok. But one of the theories was the manufacturer, the store was like, oh, we'll call the manufacturer. They're basically trying to displace blame because clearly what happened is the associate measured her wrong.
Yeah.
So they try and hit up the manufacturer saying, hey, you sent us the wrong dress. The manufacturer reasonably says, we made a dress based on the measurements you sent.
Yeah.
And I think when they realized they fucked up, they rushed her out of there to say, go get this altered. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
So anyway, clearly they did. So they basically say to her, like, sorry, the manufacturer is not going to help you because the measurements were wrong. And we're not going to help you because you signed this release form. And the manager keeps saying to her, I really wish you didn't take it out of the store. And she's like,
you made me take it out of the store.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? You told me the only way to fix this. You're running out of time. Hurry up. Go to the alterations place. Right. They can fix this, but you have to go now. Like, again, and I've said this all through the process of planning my wedding, like, I fucking hate, like, you've never done this before. Like, people taking advantage of the fact that you've never done this before, and they do it for a living all the time. They know when they're fucking you. And this store knew that they were fucking her.
And they know what can be done and what can't be done.
They knew exactly what they were doing. They just didn't give a shit. So when she went back, they basically said, yeah, sorry, fuck you, bye. She leaves with a dress that she's not going to wear. And now this company knows.
She can't wear.
She can't wear it.
It's not even like, oh, I changed my mind, or this isn't how I thought it was going to fit or look. It's like, this dress, I can't wear it. Her nipples are out. Like, it's not possible to be worn. And the fact that a bridal store is just like, oh, yeah, you can give them $6,000 and get a dress that can't be worn, and they just go, oh, well.
Sorry, bitch. And you know what's crazy? The dress is $6,000 based on their overhead, too. The dress could be $4,000 somewhere else. I'm coming here because you're a reputable store.
Right.
I expect reputable guidance. I don't expect you to not take my measurements right. And then when you realize you haven't taken my measurements right, and you knew that the dress would take 6 months to come, and you probably in your head realized, she's not going to get this dress.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Now it's too late. Send her out of here so that we don't lose this sale. And let's see if she'll just deal with it at alterations. Like, that's how fucking, and this is a huge bridal store. $6,000, I'm sorry, is fucking nothing to them. Probably, especially since they got the dress for probably like $1,000. So it's like, shut up. Put it on a sales rack. They go, well, you put pins in it when you tried it on with the makeshift straps. So yeah, it's been altered. We can't touch it, basically. So anyway, she messages me and she goes, because we have each other on Instagram because we went to high school together. And she's like, I am thinking of posting a TikTok. And then she's like, I want it to do well because, like, this is like whatever. And so she sends me the TikTok, like the video. And I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. I was like, definitely just post that, like whatever. And I like gave her tips on like a caption. I was like, just make it some clickbaity shit like this, whatever.
It was a really good video.
It was really good.
And it also is like a public service announcement because, like, when people, so much of this wedding stuff is all over TikTok, and you look up the bridal shops. I looked up a lot of the bridal shops that I was going to before. If I saw that I had an appointment there, I would cancel it so fast. So it's actually great that she did that.
Oh my God.
Like, it's not only to just get something out of it. It's like, actually, this needs to be out there because that's scary.
100%.
Like, this got me thinking about my fucking dress that I'm not going to see until a month before my wedding. I'm like, holy fuck, that didn't even cross my mind that could be a possibility.
Not fit. Yeah.
Never even crossed my mind. Now I'm terrified because I'm not supposed to see it until a month
Well,
out.
9 out of 10 times, these companies are professionals and they do their fucking jobs.
I also know the guy who owns so
I think you'll be okay.
He can't.
I think you'll be
over,
fine.
But it could not fit. But like, I guess I wouldn't be out the money. But still, I'm like, Jesus.
You wouldn't be out the money, and you would find something else because by the time you realized it wouldn't fit, you'd be in New York, and you would just find something. Like, that's the thing. Like, these are all things that are fucking fixable. Like,
I know.
The way
it is sad when you like go through a whole thing to find the one, and then you're just like, oh, I have to just find something else.
Here's the fucking. There is no the one. That's the thing. There's a million dresses that look good on you.
I love my dress. I want to wear that dress.
You will be able to wear that dress. This is a moot
isn't about me.
This isn't happening to you. So don't worry. It's not going to be that. You will wear that dress. That dress is beautiful. But you know what? I will say, I saw one just like it at Lover's Land. Same kind of like I'm not going to say any of the details.
Thank you.
But same kind of vibe. Okay. And I was like, oh, this looks just like Annie's. And then I looked up I think it was a different designer though. But anyway, you would find a bunch of dresses if that happened. So not worry.
Okay.
Anywho, so obviously, so then I repost the video, Annie reposts the video, I stitch the video, like all the videos are going viral now about this like company, and a bunch of the comments are like, oh my God, like they were horrible to me, like I couldn't get my brides, but whatever. Like if you go through the comments on my video, because her video is now taken down. Why? Because
is it?
She just texted me this.
Okay.
So now Avenue 22 releases a statement. They turn off all their TikTok comments. They release a statement.
So shady.
That is so poorly written, but I'll read it.
Oh, they released a statement?
They released a statement.
On what? Instagram?
On TikTok, weirdly. Avenue 22 Toronto. Look at Elvira.
I know.
Okay.
What does she want? Dinner?
No, she's just bored now. She wants to hang out. We want, dear community, this is their official statement, okay? We want to address directly and transparently a situation that has recently arisen surrounding our company. We deeply regret to hear about the negative experience that one of our customers has shared on social media. We want to assure you that we take every client's experience seriously. We strive to provide exceptional service and ensure that every bride finds her perfect dress. Well, no, you don't give a fuck about that, but anyway.
Well, she found it. That's not the problem.
Yeah. Currently, we are working internally on the situation and addressing the issue with the client involved. While it's unfortunate that one of our clients had a negative experience, we want to emphasize that this does not reflect the experience of the vast majority of our clients. We have served thousands of clients over the years and have consistently delivered on our promises. We understand that each person's perspective is unique, and we're committed to continuously improving our services. We appreciate and value the attention and concern given to this bride's case, and we will continue to work diligently to turn every negative into a positive and provide an even better service for which we have been known. All right. So here's what that company does. They send her a contract that's essentially a cease and desist. They basically say, hey, we'll give you your money back. We'll give you the full refund for the dress, and we'll cover the tailor. In exchange, you take down that video and you never post any videos about this again. And initially, you have till 12 o'clock tomorrow to do this.
That's crazy.
And after you receive your refund, you have 30 minutes to remove the videos. So I think this is kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people, where it's like, okay, I'm getting all my money back. All I have to do is take down this video.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay.
Okay, but what that shows.
She still doesn't have a dress, but at least she's not out that money.
At least she's not out that much. And you know what? Whatever company reaches out to her and helps her out is going to get mad clout.
I know.
And to have.
Okay, great.
So anyway.
That's perfect. What's it to them?
So what I was saying she should do initially, but I understand both sides.
Okay.
This is what I would have done, because we were texting about this last night, and I was like, babe, fucking forget the $7,000. Keep this story going. You have 2 dress options already. 2 companies have reached out to you. They're going to give you a free dress.
Yeah.
Keep this
free, you think?
Free. I know.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Whoever saved that situation, that video, if she didn't take it down, would have gotten a million views easy. Like whoever got to stitch that situation to their store would have been over. I'm like, not only that, you keep talking about wedding stuff. You could blow up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, what I would do if I were you is I'd say, fuck this $7,000. That's going to work out in the wash because I'm going to get a free dress. So I spent $7,000 on a dress. I got a dress. This doesn't matter. Secondly, I would say I would then post the fucking insane contract they sent you saying, we're sorry, in exchange for money. Like, do you understand how fucking crazy it is that this company, instead of acknowledging that they did anything wrong, only offered the refund back in exchange for her silence? That is crazy. Right. I've never experienced a company doing that before in my life. Like, being like, oh my God, we're so sorry.
And it's her money. It's not like
it's
we're
her
giving
money.
You extra money.
No,
it's like,
they're not paying you. They're giving you back a refund that they should have given you in the first place.
Because you can't wear the dress.
In the contract, they go, in exchange for this money, you take the video down. There's no exchange though, babe. You owe me a refund. A normal company would say, okay, sorry this happened. Here's the exchange. Do you mind posting that you came back and you got a different dress from us? Rectify the situation. When I shat on the Tight Clinic, the girl offered me a free facial at the Tight Clinic, okay?
Yeah.
Guys, now I go to the Tight Clinic it's my favorite place in the entire world. They truly did redeem themselves, and they didn't fuck up like this.
No.
I just didn't enjoy my facial the first time I went.
Yeah.
This chick, we went out for dinner a couple weeks ago. She's like, oh my God, I still feel bad about that. I'm like, why would you feel bad about that? What you did is redeemed yourself. I've posted more good things about the Tight Clinic.
Yeah.
And the bad one's still up. I didn't take it down.
And you also go when you're not posting. Like, it's not just like you go there for free shit. It's like you go there.
No, I love it.
Plenty of times that you don't post.
No, I love
too.
it. That's my facialist. And guys, if you want to go to the Tight Clinic, you go see Jamie. Understand me? Because Jamie's the one with the cute little dachshund that'll sit on your lap while you get red light therapy. But like, she didn't say, hey, in exchange for taking down the video, will you, she's like, let me offer you the opportunity to turn this experience around, because I truly feel horrible that you felt like this after Avenue 22 does not give two fucks what they did. It's absolutely nuts that they're like, oh my God, sorry. Anyway, in exchange for your refund, remove that video. You must do it by 12 tomorrow, and you have half an hour. Like, you're serving me like a legal document, and that's the only way I can get my refund if I shut the fuck up about the crazy thing you did. So I said to Rachel,
that actually happened to me, that I'm talking about, and also warning other people about this thing. It's like, oh my God, you just want this scrubbed from the internet. It's like, okay, but I would actually want to know that. Whether I still decided to go to Avenue 22 Bridal is my choice, but like, I want to have all the information.
Well, my video's still up. And
yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's the thing. I'm like, I mean, anyone else can talk about this.
Yeah. So last night we were messaging about it.
We're talking about it right now.
We're talking about it right now, and I will literally post another TikTok about how they sent her an insane contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that is crazy. And a lot, you know what?
And they can't do anything about that. No, she'll already have her money.
Okay, do you know what pissed me off though? Because I said, okay, because she's like, I want the money back. I'm stressed.
Fair.
I need the money back. I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why don't you just delete the video or move the video to private, get your money back, and then make a video explaining what happened. But then when I read the contract, I saw that you can never talk about it again. I'm like, that's crazy. You're going to stop me from ever talk. Like, that is the craziest response. I honestly think that's insane. Yeah. To be like, okay, yeah, well, sorry, we feel so bad. They don't feel bad. They just are angry they got caught, and they're like, we'll only give you this back if you sign a contract saying you'll never talk about this. That's the only way we'll give you the refund that you are rightfully owed. So now I'm going to have to drag them 20 more times.
Yeah.
And it's annoying too, because she's like, I didn't want to delete that. She's like, I'm getting like fucking TikTok clout. I'm like, yeah, you have a wedding account going. Like, you could post more about this, post that crazy contract, post whatever. But I totally get it. Like, she's like, she just texted me now being like, I just took the videos down and I got the money back. She's like, I was way too stressed out about it.
That's like more work for her for like maybe an outcome to like, I totally get how it's like, let me just pretend this all never happened, kind of. And like, she can still do that if she wants.
Oh yeah. And like, you know what? I think she's going to talk to her lawyer too, because she's like, well, what would happen if I talked about it later? I'm like, I don't know. Are they surveying you? Like, surveillance? Block them.
I guess defamation, like they could.
Who's going to they're not going to take you to court. They won't even give you $6,000 back for a dress.
Yeah, true.
You think they're going to like hire a lawyer?
Or she could talk about it and not say the name, but people will know. Like, or people in the comments, you know, when the search bar is like Avenue 22, but it's like, you didn't say it.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways where she could.
Yeah, the contract was not that specific. Yeah. It was just like, please.
Or like, she could talk about it. We could be in the comments saying, this is Avenue 22 Bridal. Like, they can't stop us from knowing this. That's what's so funny. It's like, okay, she can take the video down. You can't stop 500,000 people from knowing that in their brains now.
Oh, yeah. No.
Sorry. You can't remove that from my head.
Certainly can't remove it from mine. I'm like so angry.
It is so crazy.
It's infuriating. Well, that's why it blew up, because people were like, this is insane.
Because exactly. Shit happens, and Rachel also is so fucking nice and reasonable. Like, even the way she handled that whole scenario was like, oh my God, you're so nice. And like, if the story had been, a chick took my measurements wrong, can you believe it? The dress didn't fit. You'd be like, oh no, that's scary. But then if it's like, oh my God, but then they got on it right away and they said they're going to remedy this and blah, blah, blah. That wouldn't even be a good story. You'd be like, oh, that sucks that happened 4 months out from your wedding. But you'd be like, oh, okay, well, it sounds like someone made an unfortunate mistake. Yeah. And then they made up for their mistake. It's like, no one's saying no one can ever make a mistake and that girl deserves to be like burnt at the stake for taking the measurements wrong. It's literally how they handled it after and put it all on her and made it seem like she did something so gravely wrong by simply deciding to get her dress at their store. Yeah. It's like she is the problem.
Yeah. They made it like, I bet the behind the scenes when she put that dress on and it didn't fit was them being like, okay, hold on. And then manager, store owner, and that chick having a little meeting being like, okay, well, the dress is here. We already bought it.
Yeah.
Just
what are we going to do?
Send her to
I got my
alterations.
commission already.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
yeah.
right?
I bet. And then and then she probably went back to Rachel and was like, okay, no problem. You can just go to
just
alterations.
Get the cups bigger. Yeah.
For sure. 100%.
And then just hoping, because she probably doesn't know anything about alteration. Either they did that diabolically, or she was like, whatever, alterations will do
and
it.
alterations aren't in-house, which is convenient.
Yeah.
Most bridal shops have alterations in-house, so it's kind of like either they
they have someone specific that they work with.
Yeah.
That they recommend and work closely with. That would be able to know, that knows the dresses really well and knows what can and can't be done. But like, so many people in the comments were like, cups someone was like, as a seamstress, everyone knows cups can't be altered. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that. And of course, Rachel didn't know that too. And that's what's crazy. They were like gaslighting her into being like, oh, you shouldn't have taken it out of the store. It's like, you made me take it out of the store.
Yeah. Don't fucking tell me what to do as a professional and then be surprised that then it's like, well, didn't you think about that? I'm like, no, your job's to think about it. You're the professional. That's why I'm paying for a professional experience.
And don't make me now feel like bad for my body because you measured me wrong. Like I didn't fit into the dress that was supposed to be made perfectly for my body.
Yeah.
Like she fit in the fucking sample enough to choose the dress with clips.
Yeah.
And now you're blaming me for not fitting into the dress that was supposed to be tailor-made for me.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating. Like,
so annoying.
I gasped when I saw that.
Well, guys, everybody who's listening, definitely follow Rachel Sachs because she has also told me that she wants to keep making wedding content.
She should.
She was upset she had to take the videos down. She's like, I wanted this to like start. She's like, I like making stuff like this.
She can still blow up with her new dress. Like, think about how sick it's going to be when she posts her dress after her wedding.
I think
be like this, like she could tell the story without saying their name and make it like a dress reveal.
Oh my God. I wonder if anyone duetted it before she deleted it. That would have been good.
Duetted it. Oh, but you stitched it.
Will
it still be?
No, it'll be, my stitch will be there, but if someone duetted it.
But will her clip be there?
Her whole clip would be there if someone duetted it, which someone might have. And if
she
not,
probably has the video.
I have the video.
Oh, okay. So, but you want it to be up there. Well, you'll post it or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll fucking post it.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm not worried about her TikTok presence. She has lots. Anyone who's had a wedding can have a wedding account because there's lots to say. It's actually funny. I thought I was going to be like way more of a wedding TikToker leading up to it, but you actually can't say a lot of shit about your wedding until after because you kind of need the photos to show, and you need to like, even you, like you're starting to share more about your wedding because you have this stuff to share.
Yeah, you also don't know how it's gonna go. So
and
it's
just like sitting and talking about like, hey, I answered a bunch of emails and looked at quotes today and signed contracts. It's like, that's not interesting.
Yeah, I saw a rendering of my floor plan.
Yeah, I had a floral meeting today. These are kind of the flowers I'm thinking. It's just sort of like, unless you're really, really good at that kind of content, that's really hard to upkeep.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in my mind thinking I'm going to be able to post so much more of the shit once
100%.
all is said and done.
Yeah, I posted way more about my wedding.
But this dress thing will not be forgotten. I can't wait to see her new dress and have that be like a fun kind of
oh my God, and I can't wait to make a follow-up video on how stupid Avenue 22 is for sending her that cease and desist contract. Answer by 12 tomorrow. Who are you, like Bane?
I know. And the fact that she took it down, people will be like, you know, once they know that's the story.
Well, she gave the update. She gave the update yesterday. She posted.
I saw that.
Yeah. So yesterday she posted like, I'm gonna have to take this down, so I'm just giving you guys that update. And all the comments were like, "Girl, do not do that." Like,
I know,
but they don't know. Like, they're not the ones out $8,000.
Exactly.
So, like, whatever. But I get the initial gut reaction to be like, no. And even her last night, she's like, I'm leaning towards not doing it. And then today she was like, fuck that. I'm way too stressed about the money. And my mom's like,
I would do
you can get the money back. Like, get me my money back.
I would do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I would, just because I know, like, if she's had a taste of blowing up, you can do it again. And there's ways to talk about this without.
Yeah, I bet there's a million ways she could talk about it without like actually mentioning.
And your video being up still is good. Like, is good for her. And
anyway, go follow Rachel Sachs because that'll be nice for her.
Yeah.
Since she got her creative rights taken from her.
Ugh.
On Avenue 22.
Scary.
Tori just said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Chilling with Annie." You? Why am I
guys
texting?
Doing?
Yeah.
You and Joe? What time is it?
It's 4:53. It's almost cocktail hour.
Oh,
I love how we always end this right in time for cocktail hour.
We do, and I feel like we always end it at the right time, like not the right time, the same time.
Yes.
Like we just can feel in our bones when it's time to shut the fuck up.
Women just have such great internal clocks.
Intuition.
And nice pussies and titties. Okay. Well, that's perfect.
Is that all? No, I'm trying to think, like, were there any other things we were like, we should say that this week?
Not that I can remember. You really put to bed the Zorbing thing, which was...
thank goodness.
Which was really haunting us.
Actually, thank God for this Rachel Sachs debacle. I don't know what we would talk about in our segment. Here's a little something we could talk about.
I know. We'd have to really think of here's something we could talk about.
Something tells me we'd come up with something.
I think so, too.
If I know us.
Yeah, I know. I just thought about, like, Oppenheimer again, which is something we can talk about when we log off here because...
Okay. You make me a watermelon cocktail?
Yeah, I'm going to take the dog out first, but yeah.
Okay.
Let my dog
popcorn.
Piss and shit, and then... Oh, babe, I have charcuterie.
Oh, my God. What are you trying to fatten me up 2 months out from my wedding?
Trying to fatten you up for Vegas so I'm not the fattest pig in the
Hey, now.
No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay. All right. Cheat day.
Cheat day. Well, it doesn't have to be that crazy, but anyway.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Write in.
Please
Dollspace with a zero. Dollspace.com.
Dollspace with a zero.com. As it Dollspace. Okay. Love you guys so much. And as usual, I think we did a really good job answering those questions. Bye.
I think so too.
Lovely.
Do we put these on YouTube anymore?
Yeah. I put the
you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Glad someone's working.